The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma. Following President Trump's imposition of tariffs against more than 180 countries, global stock markets experienced a step downward trend, surprising even the most pessimistic expectations of analysts last week. The S&P 500 dropped by 9.1% in a single week, while the Nasdaq Tech Index saw a correction of 10%, marking one of the worst performances in the Wall Street history. Although President Trump revised his decision on tariffs during the week and announced a 90-day moratorium, market sentiment still remained unchanged as increased tariffs on China up to 146% were still in effect. China responded in kind, mirroring the US tariffs. The trade war between the world's two largest economies continues. Last week, the world's richest individuals lost billions, and Georgia's richest man was no exception. According to Bloomberg, Bidzina Ivanishvili's net worth dropped by $350 million. On a single day, his fortune fell by $125 million, the agency reports. As of March 2025, Georgia's international foreign exchange reserves increased by $76.8 million, totaling $4.3 billion. Despite this growth, compared to March 2024, the reserves are down by $466 or 10% in millions. The increase is linked to rising global gold prices. Due to this, compared to the previous months, March saw an increase of $64.4 million in reserves. Since the purchase of gold for the reserve, the monetary value of the gold has risen by approximately $195 million. This week was no exemption, as gold prices on the international exchange soared to the record levels. The price of 1 ounce reached $3,230, a 37% increase compared to the same period of the year. Ukraine has resumed ferry service with Georgia, reports Interfax-Ukraine. The project involved the shipping company Ferry from Odessa and USAID Cargo Poland from Warsaw, a subsidiary of Ukrzha Lisnica. At the April 11 meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group from Ramstein, it was announced that NATO allies had agreed to allocate a record high $23.8 billion long-term military aid to Kiev. The news was reported by the Kiev Independent, quoting British Defense Secretary John Halley. From the United Kingdom, we have imposed financial sanctions on Georgia's chief prosecutor Ivanishvili and 3 other senior officials: Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs Shalva Bedoidze, head of the Special Investigations Service Koka Katsitadze, and Deputy Head of the MIA Special Task Department Mirza Kezevadze for human rights violations. The sanction explanation states that Chief Prosecutor Gabitashvili failed to ensure the protection of human rights and did not respond to violence committed by the police and special task units against citizens. Georgia has been placed on the list of former members of the European Quality Assurance Register for Higher Education, EQAR. The registration of Georgia's National Center for Educational Quality Enhancement had been suspended, but as of now, the center is officially listed as a former member on EQAR's website, which also publishes the negative decision made at the end of last year regarding its re-registration. Last week, Georgia received another sanction from UEFA due to the spectacular behavior during the Georgia's match against Armenia. UEFA has ruled that Georgia's national team must play one home game under its jurisdiction behind closed doors. This disqualification applies to the first home match of the 2026-27 Nations League season. Following investigative journalists' findings of various violations, the government initiated inspections of dairy producers and met with industry representatives. The legal dispute between businessmen Lasha Papashvili and Revaz Vashakidze over their companies continues in the appellate court, while the state plans to tighten inspections of imported milk at the border. Recent inspections and developments have caused significant problems for the company Kartuli Nobati, which is owned by global giant PepsiCo. The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.